Hey guys, welcome to another of my videos where I use choking phobia to help treat my, where I use exposure therapy to help treat my choking phobia. So I'm just wrapping up what I was eating yesterday, chicken strips, some taters. So I already wrote down, I didn't write it down, but I said to myself the level of anxiety I have now, which is 25. Then I took a bite out of the taters, and I immediately told myself I was supposed to take a bite out of the chicken. That's something that's, more, I guess, anxiety provoking. The more anxiety provoking thing you do, the more dramatic you'll see the anxiety come down. So I'm gonna just continue with the video while I learn about addressing thinking errors. And so this video, the link will be in the description. I'm just gonna go ahead and start learning. And yeah, I did my exposure already. Um, so yeah, I'm making this video. Usually I don't make videos every day. It's really stressed out. So I'm gonna kind of do this. Alright. So you won't be able to see the video. You'll be able to hear it though. So I'm just going down here. So first thing about as thinking errors is realizing that that we all have them, and most of us have about 4 or 5 different ways of thinking, and we fall back on these ways. It doesn't make them good or bad, it's just that that's what we do. And if you can just identify the sad ones, right, or the depressing ones, we can right, stop doing those things, and we can still have still 4 ways of thinking, still 3 ways of thinking. What you need to understand though is that one way of thinking that you were thinking before, if you don't get rid of that, you'll be stuck with these, what Dr. Don here is calling stinking thinking, where you just, you keep feeling miserable because you can't really see anything positive. You see everything in the negative. It's called negative filtering. You see everything that's going on in your day, you only see the negatives. You see everything negative that happened during that day, during that time, and it's so hard for you to see anything positive. You catastrophize, you make a mountain out of a molehill, you say something, reasonably annoying happened, like say you got a speeding ticket. That doesn't mean the rest of your day is going to be bad, or that you're a bad person, or that you're worthless, or that you even messed up, because everybody speeds. And yet, that's going to be a lot of the thoughts going through your mind if you have this negative filtering going on. You won't be able to just move on and be like, well, I got a speeding ticket and it sucks, I'm just going to move on. It's going to do the rest of my day. So what Dr. Don recommends is focus on things you can change, focus on things you can do, like activities, movement, things that could help you break out of an obsessive cycle. I shall get more to those later. I'm just giving an introduction here. And the best thing you want to do is obviously eliminate the thought patterns. And just stop thinking that way. Alright. Yeah. So, and for anyone who needs a quick refresher on what thinking errors are, they are basically a cognitive distortion that takes a thought and manipulates it to fulfill your expectations of a situation, and or conform to your current headspace. Negative begets negative, right? There are irrational thoughts. They're basically irrational thoughts in a way. In a way, they are. Most of them would say irrational thoughts are thoughts that you may hold that are usually extreme. For example, I must have love and approval from everyone all the time. Like I was almost going to say never. I do not use the words must or never or always or should, because they create categorical imperatives that could lead to right and left, up and down, good and bad. And you can, instead of saying I must have love and approval from everyone all the time, you could say it is nice to be loved and approved from everyone all the time, or I enjoy having love and approval from everyone all the time, or who does not enjoy having love and approval from everyone all the time, right? So as you can see, they're unrealistic, because that's impossible. You can't just have love and approval from everyone all the time, and they create feelings of failure, inadequacy, and disempowerment. Things are not going to be like all the time a certain way. We would like to believe it as therapists, not as therapists, but as me as a person who learning about therapy, and therapists like to believe this, that we would just like to have the happy thoughts and get rid of all the negative thoughts. Unfortunately, there's going to be times when things suck, and even though you've done all the work, you've done everything, sometimes things are just going to go to crap. That's just how life works sometimes. So what you got to learn is to kind of just accept everything, breathe, and most importantly, just identify the ways you're thinking that are negative. You'll be like, oh, well, those are, irrational. Let's try to think of a more rational way. Let's try to do a thought record on this. Do I really need to have, for example, this or that all the time? Let's continue. Okay, so she mentioned 7 basic types of excuse me, thinking errors. Um, you may have heard of some of these. You may have not. There's personalizing, mind reading, all or nothing / polarized, catastrophizing, overgeneralization, shoulds, and recency / availability heuristic. The last one I haven't heard of. So she's given an example about personalization, about an addict, right? The people who are around the addict may start resenting the addict because he's doing things that, right, would make the person feel personal, like you're personally doing this. When in reality, that person is an addict. They're sick, and you can't really fault someone who's sick for doing something because they're an addict. You need to be more compassionate with these type of people. You can't just, right, say, oh, if it's someone close to you, then, I mean, she'll get more to the example of the addict. What I want to say in terms of my example is in terms of personalization, and from my own experience and my own recent history, I did suffer from personalization for a long period of time in relation to my father's girlfriend, Shazma, who moved in with him, and I, I would start to understand, start to get to the deeper understandings of why I dislike her and hate her, and why I don't really like her. And what I'd come to the realization is that it's not necessarily her; it would have been anyone in that position. Anyone in that position who would be okay with, for example, moving in so quickly after a divorce, and really, honestly, someone who generally does not have the same values that I do, someone who we just don't get along. I mean, she's like older and she's very traditional Pakistani. I'm younger, and I think traditional Pakistani culture is backwards and xenophobic. So, and represses women and gays and everything. So I started becoming very hateful towards her. Then I realized it's not her. It could have been anyone in that situation. Anyone in that situation who, right, moved in with my father with very little notice and acted this way. It didn't matter what her name would have been. Her name could have been Shazma. Her name could have been, I don't know, Shmela, just random names, right? Or it could have been anybody. The point is that you're more angry at the situation and the characters involved, not necessarily them personally, more on a theoretical level. You understand? So I hope that makes that clear, that you don't need to take things personally, and you can still understand what's going on in your life. You just need to take a step back and be like, well, what does that mean to me if I really do hate, this person? And draw a line down from I hate, whatever person down to ask yourself, what does that mean to me? And you'll realize there's deeper issues at play, and it's not necessarily, you hate her personally. It's whoever's in that situation. You don't want to take it personally. You don't want to take it personally like that because, I don't really think she was taking it like in a personal manner. So you gotta understand that sometimes crap happens, and you may think it's all against you, and somehow someone wants to take it personally against you. In reality, it's just simple. Like this person needed a place to stay, and I guess my father wanted to, and he also wanted, I guess, sexual fulfillment and friendship or whatever. And it doesn't matter who the person is, right? It's called personalization. Of course, I can give you examples of other ones like mind reading. Mind reading is a very, 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 very easy one to kind of give an example to. The most, I guess, cogent understanding of mind reading would be the classical example of having social anxiety. You walk into a room or a mall or any place that is designed to be social or have some sort of people around it, and there's some expectation that you need to be very reciprocally sociable. A bookstore, I don't know, restaurant, hell, even church. You would start to mind read about what these people are thinking. Oh, he's negatively judging me. She saw me trip, right? He can see my heart beating, whatever, right? And you'll realize all of those thoughts are assumptions you're making in your head where you think you know what that person is thinking. You need to write those thoughts down and then put a thinking error. Ask yourself, where's the evidence that this thought is true? What is the evidence that this thought is not true? Just like I did in the beginning with this, with the food, I wrote down on a scale of 0 to 100, how much do I fear the thought? How much do I feel the thought you're going to choke on this food is true? And I gave it a number. That's another way you can do it. You can also give it a number. Like I've done it through thought records. I've given it a number. Both ways are good. The point is, you gotta understand there's something more to it than just the surface. It's not just, okay, my thought is this, and I believe it, and I understand it, and that's correct. Alright? All or nothing polarized. I mean, a lot of these are kind of related. She's going to get into more of them, so let's just learn together. It's very important to understand as well. For someone who has a cognitive distortion, such as she was mentioning, mind reading, it also comes from this idea that you believe that the entire world is about you, right? Everybody is thinking about me. And one of the things, sorry, I'm still swallowing chicken. One of the things that I guess people with this cognitive distortion that they suffer from of mind reading, when they do it, when it happens, and they're buying into this idea that the world is about them. Every single person you're going to meet, right, is thinking about you. That's what you're going to assume. A lot of the people don't think about you. A lot of people think about their own problems, their own families, their own children. I'll give you an example. Let's take the last time you saw someone do something socially awkward in public. How long did you remember it? Remember, just a couple days ago I was at work, and this guy was picking up some food, and I was there too. And we've all got to wear masks up here in Ontario. And so he goes in there and he's like, "Where's the food?" There's a big line, right? Usually there's a big line sometimes, and you just gotta be patient. And so I'm just waiting, and they know me, so I'm not really. I'm just staying in the background. I'm just waiting for them to call my number. And this guy gets up in the guy's, I guess, in the person's personal space or whatever. I don't know, whatever he did. And the other guy is basically the manager, or whatever. The guy handling the takeout is telling this Uber guy, "Listen, you need to put your mask above your nose a little bit more." I've been asked this before too. And as much as I hate people asking me to do it, I just do it because let's just move along. I mean, okay, it probably is okay at the level it is, but I mean, they have a right to feel safe in the restaurant. So he got very, very angry at this. He definitely started feeling, I think, attacked personally for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I know I kind of felt like perhaps some people are being singled out for doing this, and I realized that's not necessarily true. I think it's just that people want people to know how to wear a mask, because sometimes I would wear a mask. Like, I wear a mask wrong many times because I vape when I'm outside. So when I vape, I'm not gonna have the mask on me. I'm gonna have the mask down by my neck. When I have it down by my neck, they say it's not wrong because then if there's germs here, you touch it in. You try your best, right? Long story short, this guy says basically that my mask is up, my mask is above, and he got very, very angry. And I think he took it personally. And what you understand is, don't take it personally. They're very, very busy, right? This is during COVID or during a lockdown. Everyone needs to get their food. There's like probably 5 or 6 Ubers there, right? And there's like 10 orders they're doing over and over and over again. So give him some time. And if he doesn't feel safe with the way your mask is, don't take it personally and say, "Oh, this guy, how dare he? He's just pissed off at me because I keep asking him for the order." No, he's not. So many people have been asking him for orders, more than likely repeatedly, since he started working there. He's used to it. What he most likely is not used to is some couriers more concerned with their orders than with covering their face and basically following the law. You understand? It's not all about you. Sometimes it's about other people, and I learned that it was a very profound understanding I learned when I started really taking the thinking area seriously. I thought to myself, yeah, a lot of people aren't really thinking about me. They aren't. And I would try to get some sort of way of thinking that, oh yeah, they really are thinking about me. A lot of them are just doing what they're doing. You just, as my therapist said, look at their actions, focus on their behaviors. A lot of it is just the same behaviors you're having. Right? Okay, so this is how much I've eaten. I feel fairly full. What I'm going to probably do, because I've been meaning to do this for a while, I'm going to get like a shami kebab or something, or some sort of thing I can eat quickly later in the day. And the reason I'm doing these videos daily now is because of, as I said, the recent struggle happening in my life with the move, which I have yet to upload that video. That video is still being uploaded. It's being uploaded here on my phone. It says it's going to take 9 more hours. Okay, I don't know why it takes so long to get the video uploaded. It's getting uploaded though. Okay, it's getting uploaded. As you can see, it's getting uploaded. Once it's uploaded, I will upload this video sequentially so you guys don't know what I'm talking about. So I'll wrap it up here. I'm going to do an exposure later. I probably won't do it on camera unless I feel really, really, really high levels of anxiety. And yeah, remember guys, so the levels that I was at, I wrote it down here. Did I? Yeah, I bet I did. Oh, I didn't write it down. I said I was going to write it down. But it was a 40. It was quite high. It was a 40. And yeah, I got it down to a level that I think is manageable, about a 10. Simply by just talking to yourself. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to myself. I mean, of course, I'm also helping everyone else with their mental health by learning about, for example, thinking errors and whatnot. And then just sometimes, even if you don't want to make a YouTube video, things just talk to yourself. Alright? I prefer YouTube videos because that's just the type of person I am. Alright. So from a 25 to a 10, and I'm going to do an exposure later today. Which I usually hate doing things at night because that's when my whole choking phobia started. Having said that, I got to do it at night. I mean, that's just the higher the exposure, the higher the anxiety level, the more drastic the anxiety level falls once you do an exposure. Alright, remember guys, stay with it.